afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. We're in a different set. This is our first set, and we're in our third season, and this is going to be episode number 4. And my guest, special lady, my next-door neighbor, Jeannie.
Hi, Asaph.
And you can just say hi to the viewing audience at that camera there.
Hi.
Jeannie is
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Yeah. Hi, Jeannie's parents. Your daughter Jeannie is on this segment of Asaph Cafe, and we're going to have some fun, and she'll talk to me as I play the piano. I'm going to start off with Burt Bacharach's "This Guy's in Love with You." That's my traditional theme song.
That's a great song.
Yeah, so I'll do that for you.
Oh, that's a great song.
It's a shame I didn't write it.
Not really.
That's okay. Not many people do. Song.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you look very lovely today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for appearing on my show.
Oh, it's...
Finally. This is our third season. It's not in the sense of a literal year.
Yeah.
That would be impossible. So every 15 shows that I do of Asaph Cafe, we turn into a new season.
Oh.
So this is our third season, and this is episode number 4.
Okay.
And the set that we're on today, isn't that a beautiful set? You see
it really is.
Yeah, I like the windows and the setting and all.
Yeah.
Now, the other set that I had intended to have you on, it's gone, so...
Oh, well, that's nice anyway.
Yeah, you're the first guest on this show with this new set, even though it's still the same season.
Okay.
So I just thought we'd get a kick out of that there.
Yeah.
You know this song?
Where has my little dog gone?
Close. Well, I call it the Underdog song. Do you remember that cartoon from the 60s, Underdog, with Sweet Polly?
Yeah.
Well, Sweet Polly always sang that when she got in trouble. Underdog would fly to her rescue. So. And I call it a children's song, too, which is cool.
Gosh, you play so well.
Well, thank you. I've been doing it all of my life, so I'm very humbled.
Oh,
really humbled.
Man.
I've been doing this since I was a child.
Yeah.
Years of practice, lots of piano lessons, music lessons, and stuff like that. And one of my teachers showed me how to take popular music and make it sound classical, you know,
all the little yeah,
stuff like that. It's just a different way, because normally, and I've demonstrated it before, normally in a nightclub it would sound something like this, like if you do Night and Day. Something like this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But with my teacher showing me how to add more tricks to popular music, it'll be something like this.
Oh, that does sound better.
See, something like that.
That does sound a lot better. It's really cool.
See, like that. I'm gonna stop right there.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you. So I feel like the good Lord has blessed me, and it's fun to be able to share this music with folks.
Yeah.
Now I can do the traditional classical music too, but like I say to my audiences sometimes, there's not a big demand for it.
Yeah.
So if you're taking a popular song and making it sound classical, you get your classical and your popular song. So it's kind of fun. Just checking my mic here, and so I'm glad you're part of this show here today.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's a beautiful day out today. You might as well get out.
Uh-huh. That's from a musical, you know. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oklahoma. Did you get to see that?
No, I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it's with a young
either.
Shirley Jones, but the name of that song is Oh, What a Beautiful Morning.
Oh,
And that song is in Oklahoma, the musical, the play.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty cool. So what kind of music do you like, Jeannie?
Just about everything. I like Mozart.
Okay.
And Patsy Cline,
Okay.
and I like the heavy metal stuff.
Good, all right. Well, I'll do some excerpts of all those that you mentioned. I'll start with Patsy Cline's Crazy. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, it is. She's got an amazing voice.
Uh-huh. I saw the documentary that PBS did about her. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. They also had her in that movie, Coal Miner's Daughter.
With Loretta Lynn?
Yeah, she was like a mentor for Loretta Lynn. Because like Patsy Cline is like it's just so underrated by the feminist movement. Because before her, there were no lady country western singers. They were backup singers.
Yeah.
You know,
I knew that in history. History says that. Yeah,
and
I knew that.
Comes out there in her rhinestone gown, her furs, and her diamonds, belts out this song like you wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
She's got male backup singers.
Yeah.
So I really admire her. But
I just think it's cool when women can progress in our culture.
Yeah.
And, do things, because women could do things just as well as any man can.
yeah, I just feel like she deserves a little more credit than she really gets. People don't really realize how fantastic she really was.
Yeah, and I think that women should be paid the same wages as a man.
Well, yeah.
And, you know, like in Hollywood and music and acting and dancing, and even in the non-Hollywood entertainment world, women do great things. They're like nurses, doctors, they're lawyers, attorneys.
Yeah, but they have to work twice as hard.
I know it.
To
and that says something about our culture.
respected.
It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. Well, I worked in the mortgage business for 20 years. You know, I started out as a receptionist and worked my way level by level up until I was, you know, a supervisor of the underwriting department and a vice president. And I felt that glass ceiling hitting me on the top of the head. Because I could only climb so far, and that was it. Of course, but after 20 years, I was ready to retire. I was so tired of this. It's very, very stressful. And
how long did you do that work?
I started it in 1983. I started out as a receptionist.
Okay.
And then I just asked a lot of questions, and they were always short on staff, so I would help with the paperwork and figure it out, processing, closing, underwriting, and I even worked as a loan officer for a while.
Well, great.
Yeah.
I'm doing Harry Belafonte's Deo.
Okay. Wow.
Remember that song?
Yeah.
All those songs are fun to just add little tricks to them.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait till you get a piano in your apartment.
Yeah, I'm working on it. That's why I've been keeping it empty, because I have to give that piano priority.
And I got to get my windows open, and you can open your windows, and I can listen to you.
Yeah, you'll be able to.
Yeah.
Now, normally when I'm practicing, I don't practice the way I perform. So you'll hear me doing like sections of pieces, repetitions, chords and scales and so on. And there's a reason for that, because you get that visual in your mind so that when you're playing in public, you can think fast enough to do it.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
It's just like weightlifting. It's not very exciting when you see guys just in the gym just kind of doing push-ups or lifting weights, but then they do their show and they're flexing muscles you didn't know there were muscles too.
Yeah.
So
I used to go to the gym, and I haven't been there in a while, obviously. And I used to do the circuit weights, and it's not real exciting, you just kind of just do the movements, but results show up really quick. I got muscles in my shoulders. I looked like Schwarzenegger. I gotta stop this.
I'll be back.
I look like a lumberjack coming down the hall.
Okay, cool.
Anyway.
But anyway, getting back to women, I think our culture should acknowledge women more and respect women more. Not treat them as second-class citizens.
Yeah. Well,
really.
I think it's improved,
It's improved, but like anything else in our culture, I think it's this U.S. culture, and I always talk about that, because I lived overseas when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's totally different. They don't have so many racial issues in most countries like we do in the United States.
Right.
They don't have all these hang-ups with women doing such and such in some cultures.
Yeah.
Now, some cultures are worse than we are. I understand that, but I live in this culture, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, we're like the greatest nation, freest nation in the world. So we ought to treat women accordingly. Don't you think?
I
probably won't win a popularity contest, but so what?
I just found out that over in Iraq and Afghanistan, women become officers, but they are not allowed to participate in combat.
Well, okay, combat is something I can understand, but even there are some women that are very skilled in combat too.
Well, there are, and I don't know.
In fact, when I was in high school, did you ever see the movie Billy Jack with Tom Laughlin, the actor?
Yeah.
You know, he was the martial arts Green Beret guy that protected the Native American Indians.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, I have a friend of mine when I was a sophomore in high school. She was a martial arts expert. Her name was Debbie. I won't mention her last name in case she's watching. I don't want to embarrass her. But anyway, she was skilled in martial arts. And I'm not talking about just going to your little karate studio and taking a lesson once a week. She's been doing that since she was a kid.
Yeah.
And there was these football jock, I don't know what it is with high school kids. They just don't know how to take no for an answer.
They're just mean.
Yeah, and so he kept messing with her. And she said, "You better leave me alone." And, sometimes guys don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
So getting back to Billy Jack, you remember that scene when the sheriff was in his face?
Yeah.
And he just
destroyed him.
Debbie did something similar to that.
She did?
Yeah. So she dropped this football jock in front of all those people.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, that actually happened. So I was like,
Yeah,
I think you better leave these women alone when they tell you back off and leave me alone,
Yeah. I would love to learn how to do something like that. But
well, she had been training all her life.
Yeah.
So, and Debbie was petite and thin like I am.
Yeah.
And so, when you study martial arts, it has nothing to do with the size of the person or whatever.
Yeah.
It's balance and how you hit someone and certain parts of the body that you grab.
Yeah.
So, she did that little Billy Jack. What? and dropped him
down.
in front of him. Yeah, he went down.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess the young
funny.
man had it coming to him.
Yes, he did. Good for her.
She warned him.
Oh, I'm going to hurt you.
Sometimes a person will give a warning and they'll try to walk away. And
Yeah.
when they don't like respect when you walk away and don't give you no choice.
No.
Well, that's what Debbie did.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah, she did a little Tom Laughlin, Billy Jack on
Good
this
for
guy.
her.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Well, yeah, if you do it all your life, your muscles are relaxed and so on.
Yeah.
You know how to punch a person and use your
After I
feet.
go to see all these doctors, I get physical therapy, and hopefully it'll improve my condition. So I'd like to take boxing lessons
Yeah, women are good at that.
at the YMCA.
You seen Layla Ali on television when she used to box?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
And,
she'd be knocking folks out just like her father did. It was like, holy cow.
well, I'm inspired. I'm inspired by the movie $1 Million Baby with Clint Eastwood and Hilary Swank.
Oh, yeah.
You
I'm
know?
familiar with that.
Oh man, that movie got me just going. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then at the end, not so much. It's a very sad ending.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that's a movie. It had to spice it up a little bit.
oh, it's a great movie though.
Yeah.
Where she's not welcome in the gym. Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman own the gym, and they're like, "What is this girl doing in here?"
Oh,
and
yeah.
she would go over and just work with the punching bags and the little thing, you know. And I mean, she wasn't welcome there. And
Well, like, we
she
talk
didn't
about
care.
women not being respected.
That's right.
Good-
And she didn't care. She just, she waited tables and she worked out in there, and she was focused and knew what she wanted to do.
Yeah, focus on your son. Like Mr. Miyagi on that Karate Kid.
Clint Eastwood character, he kind of, she's pretty good. So he signs her up for these fights, and it's just TKO all the way until at the end, this one fighter got mad because she beat her, and she gave her a real cheap shot and injured her spine, so she was paralyzed for the rest of her life.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, it's
That
a
was-
Hollywood movie, but that's still sad,
Oh my God, I was thinking, maybe not so much, but
I'm going to do another fun song for you here. I'm not going to tell you what it is, see if you know it.
okay. Oh yeah, I just thought of the name of the secret agent man.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Secret Agent
Yeah.
Man. That's a
Cool.
song you don't hear on a piano every day.
No.
But I had a wonderful teacher that just taught me how to take all popular songs and do
Oh
those tricks.
wow, that is so neat.
And I trained for a whole year as far as learning these techniques from this one particular piano teacher I had.
Yeah.
It was years ago.
Yeah.
So, it's fun.
Nice. Do you know Mac the Knife?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I missed a note somewhere in there, but it's been a while since I've done
Oh
it.
no, that's
Mac the Knife.
I love that song.
Yeah, I worked for Louis Armstrong,
Yeah.
trumpet
Oh,
player. Mac the Knife. I
Yeah.
can't imitate him, but he had an interesting voice when he would sing.
yeah.
Let's have some fun with Louis.
Okay. Oh.
that song.
Beautiful song.
It'd take too long to play that thing all the way through, but yeah, that was a neat song.
What a
for him.
beautiful song.
You know, I used to watch Louis Armstrong when I was a kid growing up on television.
Yeah.
And when he did that Wonderful World song, I was hoping he'd play a trumpet solo, but in that song he didn't.
Oh.
Because it was always fun to watch him play the trumpet, because you're like, I'm not a trumpet player, but you watch these trumpet players, they're like always doing all this lightning stuff, you know, when there's solos, which isn't necessary.
Dizzy Gillespie with his cheeks out to
That's
here.
not necessary. I mean, Louis Armstrong would you could hear the melody that he was playing, and he'd give you just a little bit of the tricks he was doing, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Not overkill, not too much. And I'm not trying to pick out Dizzy Gillespie, but Dizzy and all the rest of those guys, you know, just song after song, and and Louis Armstrong just give you a piece of it.
Yeah.
You know, make you want more. So that was always fun to watch him.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch Louis Armstrong on TV and sing the song and play little trumpet, just little solos here and there and so on.
Down in Missouri, there was this radio station that had Dan Aykroyd as the DJ playing Chicago blues, and it was so fun to listen to that. He'd tell you all about the artist, and it was stuff that the Blues Brothers used to cover. Yeah, which I loved.
This is Sleepy Time Down South. You ever heard it?
No, I don't think so.
Louis did it a lot, Louis Armstrong.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to look for him at the library.
I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to do just excerpts. But yeah, Louis Armstrong used to sing that, Sleepy Time Down South.
Oh, okay.
Nell Carter, the actress, used to sing that too.
Oh, really?
She did that television show, Give Me a Break, I think was the name of it.
Yeah, I remember that.
The African-American actress, Nell Carter. Yeah, she used to sing that, Sleepy Time Down South. You know, they get that southern accent thing going on.
Yeah,
it's cool. I can't do it, but I can at least, Isn't that pretty?
That is pretty. So pretty.
Yeah, Sleepy Time Down South.
Wow.
So, those are just fun tunes to do.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else can I do here? I was going to do this one for you too.
Oh, we were talking about this. The Rose.
Short version of The Rose.
Oh, that's a beautiful song.
Yeah, Bette Midler.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, I remember
The Rose.
that. And she was doing the life story of Janis Joplin.
Yeah, in a roundabout way,
Yeah.
because she couldn't get, her. That's what they called it, the rose instead of the pearl.
Yeah, I don't know Janis Joplin's family, but I think they made a mistake not giving Bette Midler and whoever permission.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, Janis Joplin's been gone for a while, and I think the younger generation and so on, seeing that if they had just put that actual title, if Joplin's family had given whoever needed the permission to do that.
Yeah, she would have done her
it would have
justice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But like anything else in that line of work, people just don't have that foresight. And I'm not picking on the Joplin family because I don't know them.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about them personally, but most people, when they get approached, they feel intimidated because somebody wants to use their likeness or talk about a
Yeah.
family member or something, and they freak out.
Yeah.
And it robs not only them, but probably robs the audience.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. So
Yeah, 'cause
I wish that Joplin's
boy.
family had
Boy,
done
she
that.
was just fantastic.
Yeah, I used to watch
Yeah,
Janis Joplin when I was
yeah.
growing up.
I, s-
And yeah, I liked her.
I saw some clips of her at Woodstock,
Hmm.
and oh my God, she just tore that place up.
I can believe that. Well, you know,
She-
I have some videos of Janis Joplin at home.
Oh, do ya?
Yeah, I do on the Ed
Oh.
Sullivan Show.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, when she's like screaming them songs and singing,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can hear the notes. She's
Yeah.
not like screaming and didn't get hoarse. That lady
No,
can
yeah,
scream her way to
yeah.
stardom and
Yeah.
singing and
Piece of My Heart is one of my favorites.
yeah, I couldn't do any Janis Joplin on the piano, obviously, but
Oh.
that lady
Oh,
can sing.
You know what you should learn is Mercedes-Benz. Oh Lord, won't you find me a Mercedes?
I know this song. I'll have to check into that. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Was that one of her hits too?
Yeah.
Because I've heard other people do that song. I've never heard Janis Joplin do that.
Well, she did a lot of blues covers. I'm sure a lot of blues artists have done that.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. So
But
let's do some blues here.
okay.
I'm gonna do a short version of St. Louis Blues. You'll recognize it. There goes short version of that.
Oh, good.
Kind of a classical version.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's St. Louis Blues. But that's a fun song.
Yeah.
I used to listen to a trumpet player named Harry James play that a lot on television when I was a boy growing up.
Yeah.
They've got I think videos of him now on YouTube these days in a movie, 1946 movie I believe it was, playing the St. Louis Blues.
Wow.
I saw Harry James in concert when I was in high school, when I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And it was almost like listening to those old big band trumpet records,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you're seeing it live. There was
Yeah.
no needle hit little turntable
Yeah.
on the record. It was just, I'm like, wow, I'm looking at Harry James in real
Yeah.
life, and he sounded great. He was doing all those songs like "You Made Me Love You" and just all
Yeah.
those cool songs that he used to do, and it was cool to see that in person.
Harry James.
Harry James, when I was a
I've-
sophomore in high school, I
I've-
saw him in concert. It was the music circus that they had in Sacramento at that time. And they had these big giant tents that they used to do,
Yeah.
and so they would shove all these performers in there and set up the chairs for audience.
Yeah.
It was pretty big because it was like these giant tents,
Yeah.
and so they had the mics all set up just right.
Oh, nice.
And he comes out with that trumpet, and he's like doing all that
What?
"You Made Me Love You"
Yeah.
and just "Sleepy Lagoon" and all those other tunes that he used to do. So that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Neat.
Big band stuff to see that. They don't have music like that anymore, obviously.
No,
Big band
I'm,
music.
no, I've sometimes my radio will pick up like the modern music, and
Mhm.
I have no idea who that is or
Yeah. Well,
what
there's so
they're
many new
singing about.
performers coming out, and music has changed. Like when you watch The
Yeah.
Voice and all those other reality show music shows, it's not the same as like when you saw someone like say Peggy Lee or
yeah,
I don't know, Julie Andrews or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a more what's the they do all those oohs and ahs, I call it. You know, I don't. I'm not a singer, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When they're all those little
Yeah.
stuff, and it's not like playing it straight like the old days. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I'm not being critical of that. It's
Yeah.
just, that's the style
It's
these
just-
days.
Yeah, it is a little different.
It's different.
Yeah. When I went to junior high and high school in El Paso, and R&B was really, really popular. That was pretty much all we listened to. And, you know, the Stylistics and the Delphonics and, of course, Jackson 5. But then when I got to high school, you know, I got introduced to Steppenwolf and Jethro Tull, you know, classic 70. Fleetwood Mac was my favorite. I must have burned a hole in the Rumors album because I played it so often. And Stevie Nicks was my idol. But she was an idol to a lot of young girls.
There's no song from the past.
Oh. El Paso.
Yeah, when you play the tape back, you could hear all the songs that you're not going to catch that as we're taping this. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well, it's good that you picked up El Paso when I mentioned it.
Yeah, I know. That's the
cool.
impromptu-ness of this
Yeah.
show. I can probably do hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
I don't necessarily practice them every day, but how I'm able to remember is because when you practice your scales and chords and things,
Yeah.
there's patterns that you see in your mind's eye, so that when
Yeah.
you go to do a song, you can see the pattern.
Yeah.
Think fast enough. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah.
it's a mental picture inside and so on. But yeah, the El Paso, that's an oldie from the past.
Yeah.
Here's the one.
I don't recognize that song.
You don't?
No.
I'll do it again. You don't know it, huh?
No.
I feel good. James Brown.
James Brown. Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course. I showed you I got that CD of James Brown.
That's the ending of it. My
yeah.
version of it, anyway.
I showed you that I got that CD of James Brown. Oh my goodness. That was fantastic.
Everything that man ever did was great. I saw him in concert too once.
Oh.
And what was interesting was when he was sliding on the stage on one foot, I had a good seat, and I'm looking at this man like, how in the world can that guy do that?
He could dance really good.
Yeah, and I got to talk to him after the concert. But I think the reason I got to talk to him was because Bumps Blackwell was one of my teachers.
Oh.
You know, he was Little Richard's manager.
Oh, really?
Bumps Blackwell, yeah. And James Brown was friends with Bumps. So
Oh, so
I think maybe, just maybe, that might have had something to do with that. I don't know. I can't say. But when I got to talk to him and he was talking to me about music, I told him that Bumps Blackwell was my teacher, one of my teachers. Hey, man, you know Bumps? Yeah, he's a friend of mine, man. You know, so I can't imitate James Brown, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Bumps Blackwell was my teacher, and one of my teachers. And I lived with him for 3 years and studied music with him for 3 years when I was in my early 20s.
Wow.
So we studied composition and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And Bumps, he's probably going to be best known for that song, You Send Me. Sam Cooke made famous.
Yeah.
Bumps wrote that song.
Oh, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah,
wow.
darling, you send me, you know. See.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bumps wrote that song. He
That's a
wrote the music
pretty,
to that.
wow.
And when I lived with him, they had those gold records at that time that was made of literal gold, the 45
Yeah,
singles,
yeah.
that was encased in a
In
glass
glass,
case.
yeah.
And so he had that song in his living room. It said,
Wow.
Bumps Blackwell, you send me Sam Cooke. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Those records actually work.
Do they? You
Yeah,
can
they
actually
work for
play
real,
them?
but you don't want to like put a needle because that's an actual gold record, you know. And
Yeah.
so you want to kind of preserve that. But yeah, they
Sure.
work. They actually work.
Wow.
So he had it in his living room, and it was just pretty cool. And,
I wonder if they give them like gold CDs and silver CDs
well, this is
now. or
before
still
all the
records.
computer stuff came
Yeah,
out, you know. It's
yeah.
all different now, so.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool to have that. It was in a glass case literally about this big, like a portrait frame, and it had
Mm-hmm.
the outside part, and you can see the circular record in the middle there, and you send me, and
Beautiful.
yeah, old Bumps Blackwell wrote that tune, so that's pretty cool.
Beautiful song.
And yeah, I was like, well, I don't know, I might have been about 20 years old when I got that opportunity to study with him at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine named Deetra Cannon. She's known as Deke Cannon now.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a student at Loyola Marymount University in California in those years, and she was personal friends with Bumps. And she contacted, you got to hear this Asaph play. This guy can play. So she set up this meeting, and I went to his home, and I got to play for Bumps. And then about a couple weeks later, he called my parents. Hey, this is Bumps Blackwell. I want to work with your son.
Oh, wow.
I want him to come to Los Angeles. He's going to stay and live with me. I'm going to teach him everything.
Wow.
And my mom freaked out at first. I'm talking about my birth mother because she was like very leery. I mean, I think she knew who Bumps was, but, and I'm not talking about Bumps personally, but you know, in those days, there were a lot of people that were in the industry that had bad motives.
Yeah.
So my mother was really leery, but he calmed her fear.
Oh, he
And
was
so
a real deal.
He was a real deal, yeah. And of course,
Wow.
I knew my friendship with Deetra, and so
Yeah.
the next thing I know, I was on a Greyhound bus on my way to Los Angeles.
How exciting.
And,
Oh, you
yeah,
must have been
then
so
when I got to Los
excited.
Angeles, there I was with Bumps Blackwell.
Wow.
And the very next day, we started working together and training.
Yeah.
And for 3 years,
Wow.
I
Well-
studied under this man.
Well, no wonder you're so good.
Well, I can't take credit for it. I mean, besides giving credit to the good Lord, I had a lot of opportunities in my youth that I think helped.
Yeah.
Not only studying with Bumps Blackwell for 3 years, but going to Vegas when I was 26
Yeah.
and working with Pat Guidry. I think I told you that story.
Yeah.
Pat
You,
Guidry and the High Rollers. He was playing
Yeah.
at the Marina Hotel at that time.
Oh.
I was like this little peon there, and I was literally in the background playing while this man was doing these concerts.
wow.
And I
Unbelievable.
got all that. Because, see, Bumps was going to be my agent and manager,
Uh-huh.
but he passed away before I got a chance to sign that artist
Oh,
management
no.
contract.
Oh.
Well, those things happen. You know, you don't have control over how long you're going to live.
Oh, that's so sad.
And he wasn't like sick or anything when I
Yeah.
studied with him. He didn't show any signs of that.
Yeah, he was just old.
It was just his time to go, I think.
Hmm.
But I did get to study with him for 3 years, and he was going to have me do all these concerts in those years, and just represent me as one of his latest clients. And his list of people that he worked with was impressive. He's worked with Herb Alpert, famous trumpet.
Yeah.
Sonny Bono, Ray Charles, Lou Rawls. The list goes on
Wow.
of all these people that he worked with over
Yeah.
the years. And so by the time I got to him, he was going to do the same thing pretty much.
Wow. You
But
could
when
have.
he passed on, I pretty much knew what to do. And so when I went to Vegas, I got that opportunity in a short period of time.
Yeah.
At that time to play with Pat Guidry and the High Rollers.
Yeah.
And Pat Guidry, he's known for doing the music of Otis Redding.
Uh-huh.
And they've got some of those clips of him as a younger man on YouTube now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just Pat Guidry. He's known as Pity Pat Guidry.
Oh.
And I got the opportunity to play with him for quite some time. And
Wow.
that was an interesting experience working with him.
Yeah.
And we
Wow.
did this performance once in Monterey, California. When I was in Vegas, they all drove to Monterey. They were doing this performance for suicide prevention. And the Beach Boys were on that program. And
Oh,
so
my
was
goodness.
Dinah Shore.
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
wound up getting to play with Dinah Shore. And I was like,
You
this
did?
is cool.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't get a job, obviously, but that was
you got
cool.
the opportunity, yeah.
Now, I don't think people will remember Dinah Shore, but man, that lady was quite the singer in her time.
Yeah.
And it was cool watching the Beach Boys, too.
Oh, with Brian Wilson there?
Uh,
Like the original Beach Boy.
well, I think like 2 or 3 of the originals were there.
Yeah.
And they were singing Barbara Ann, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was cool looking at these
Oh,
guys
I
in
love
real
the Beach
life.
Boys. Yeah.
Yeah, that
But-
sound was there.
But Brian Wilson was the one who brought up the classics, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think he passed away or something, if I remember.
Did he?
Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure on my facts.
I'm not sure either. I think he's still among us, but somebody out there probably knows.
You know this song?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's called The Lonely Bull.
Yeah.
Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass.
My parents had that album. My mother used to play that once in a while, and I really
Yeah.
liked it. Yeah, beautiful.
And it's not much to that song, just kind of does it over and
Yeah.
over, but it was pretty cool. And I always liked listening to Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass when I was growing up. I mean, and Bumps used to tell me a lot of stories about Herb Alpert. In fact, Bumps once showed me a photograph of Herb Alpert as a teenager with a crew cut with his trumpet when they were in the recording studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Herb Alpert is still going strong. He's still sounding good
Yeah.
after all these years.
Yeah.
That man can play a trumpet.
Yes, he can.
I don't think anybody can play a trumpet like Herb
Yeah.
Alpert.
Yeah.
I mean, when they made him, it was like, where did they find this guy? This guy can play.
Yeah.
And I looked up some bio info on him. He's won numerous awards playing that trumpet with the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah.
And they came up with some pretty cool songs, too.
Yeah, they did.
Like the one, I think it's called Tijuana Taxi. Something like
Yeah.
that. But it sounds better on the trumpet, obviously. But
Yeah. No,
yeah, those are some cool songs.
Yeah, they are.
And do you remember the dating game with Jim Lang?
Yes.
They used to use the music of Herb Alpert, like when they would call a contestant out,
Oh, really?
or some other stuff. So that was pretty cool. And that's a great
Yeah.
legacy that Herb Alpert will leave behind when
Yeah.
he finally quits playing the trumpet.
Yeah.
I heard he was going to be in Montana, if that hasn't already happened.
Really?
Yeah, either this year or 2014. No, it might have been 2015. I don't know.
Yeah.
It may have already happened, but he was supposed to be doing a concert in Whitefish. I had read in the paper.
Wow.
And he is still going strong. I saw him on television recently, about a year or two ago. He was on Craig Ferguson's
Oh,
show,
really?
and he was playing that trumpet. Of course, he wasn't doing that Tijuana brass stuff. He was doing
Yeah.
some new current stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that. I was like, "Oh, this is way cool." Probably, I don't know what the song was. It's probably some jazz song.
Yeah.
You know how musicians always have new jazz songs that they're introducing.
Yeah.
And maybe
And-
this was like a
yeah.
new.
Craig Ferguson's show, I noticed that he always brings on, like, somebody who needs the exposure, because he's
Well,
like,
I don't think
you
Herb
gotta
Alpert needed the exposure,
No,
but it was
but-
cool to see
Yeah, but you
him
know what
on
I
there.
mean. He
Yeah,
always
I do.
brings these musicians on, like Doherty,
Mm-hmm.
that fellow that he lost on American Idol.
Yeah.
But he's got like the tightest band now. He sings rock and roll, you know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of pretty much hard rock stuff. And I saw him on Ferguson, and that band was tight.
Oh, I can believe that.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Well, I don't
So-
tell very many people, but American Idol contacted me, but I'm going to decline because I just play the piano. I don't think that I would have anything to offer that show as far as like singers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. But I submitted my Lawrence Welk show, and that was why they contacted me. And I did it more for the sake of the performers that were on the show than for myself. So maybe they'll contact some of the people that were on the pilot of that new Lawrence Welk show and give them
Oh,
an
wow, that's so
opportunity.
exciting.
That was the reason why I did it.
Well, you don't have to win American Idol.
No, I know you don't have to
because-
win that, and
yeah.
I don't think I would have anything that I could really do on that show. But
and Jennifer Hudson is the best story, I think, that comes from America.
Yeah.
She lost on American Idol, and Simon, the mean guy, made some comments about her weight.
yeah, I heard about that. They were talking about that
was-
on religious radio too,
Yeah.
because I think she's a Christian, and so they were talking about that. And
She went on Dreamgirls,
Yeah.
and oh my God, she played Effie White, from the Supremes, and just tore it up, and got an Academy Award. And I thought, not bad for a loser from American Idol. And her very first movie. I mean, that lady's a natural. She really is.
you recognize it?
I don't know. It's pretty, but I don't think
The
so.
Diana Ross song.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I recognize it now.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to Idol, I don't think I would have anything to really offer that show.
Yeah.
But I'm satisfied with the stuff I've got to do because I've already done Vegas.
Yeah.
I played there twice. Like these young guys, they want to get in there. I've done all of that. When I was playing on the main strip, I wasn't playing in the Fremont Experience downtown. I was on the main strip playing when I got the opportunity.
Wow.
And I played for the Salvation Army for 12 years. And I got nominated for the California Jefferson Award for community service because of that.
Wow.
Yeah, I would play, and they'd have a red kettle where I was, and I'd just raise money.
Oh,
It wasn't like a
that's
concert.
so cool.
It
Yeah.
was just helping the Salvation Army out and people in need.
Yeah.
And I did it during the Christmas holiday. I did that for 12 consecutive years.
Wow.
So I've got to do some pretty fun things
Yeah.
in my life. I mean, I may not be a household name like Liberace or Roger Williams, but you don't have to be a household name to make a living in music or just even have fun with it. I think the misconception is if you're not known or not famous, you think you're not really a working musician, and I don't think that's true.
No, that's not fair, but you're
That's
right.
our culture, because think about it, when you watch the Jerry Lewis Telethon and you
Yeah.
see that orchestra, you don't know those orchestra members.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting Section 8 food stamps and things like that either. And I have nothing against that program, but no, I think they're making a pretty comfortable living.
Pretty good living. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, you don't have to be a household name to have fun with your music.
Yeah.
And I always tell people if that's what you want to do it. Follow your dream. Don't let fear cheat you out of it. You're not going to fall off the edge of the world because you want to pursue music or the arts or acting or any of those sports,
Yeah.
broadcasting, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I wish I'd known about. I was telling my dad the other day that back in the 70s, when I was a teenager, if they had the show CSI or the NCIS, about the forensic science, I would have been a lot more diligent about going to college.
Yeah, it's
I had
never
no
too late
idea.
to follow your dreams, yeah.
I had no idea that the crime lab is such a cool job.
I'm going to do bits of Moonlight Sonata while we're talking for those classical audience.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, the good Lord has blessed me, so I like to just be thankful to God every day.
Yeah.
But anyway, I always tell people to follow their dreams,
Yeah. Well, I had fun. When I was 18, I just graduated. I packed up the car and went to Dallas, the big city, and I just had a ball. I lived there for 10 years. In my, 20s, I was barely making ends meet. I was working hard as a secretary. I had a car, I had an apartment,
Good.
and I just had a ball. It's a fun city to live in. when you're young and single.
Yeah, I know. I was lucky though when I would pursue my dreams, I have to admit.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful song.
That is a beautiful song.
It is.
Is that Beethoven?
Yeah, Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I get to do this for you.
Yeah. I was just thinking that Beethoven was deaf, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he came up with all this.
Yeah.
It was all in his head.
Yeah. He was just very skilled at what he did.
I was watching Amadeus last week, and Salieri saw that his music that he writes on paper, he didn't make copies. He only had originals. And when he looked at it, there were no mistakes, no corrections.
Oh, yeah.
He just fell out of his hands. He's just, how could I even compete with someone like that? It was just in his head. And they showed him writing the music, and while he's writing, he's playing with this billiard ball. He'd write, he'd roll back, he'd pick it up and do it again and write. And, it was just in his head. It's amazing.
Whatever a person's religious beliefs are, I believe all that comes from God, when people are like that.
To be that
that
gifted.
skilled, And I have read some of the original manuscripts of some of the artists, the classical people, like Bach, for example, and you know what it said in the original manuscripts? It said to the glory of God.
Yeah.
You won't see it like in your music store, but if you look at the original manuscripts, that's what it says.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen those original manuscripts.
That's why these people are called gifted. They've got a gift.
Yeah, and a lot of them, like Handel, like when they do Handel's Messiah every year, Hallelujah chorus, all those original manuscripts say to the glory of God. So that's the position I take with my music. I mean, I'm not a composer like these guys, but I feel blessed too to have had a life where I can play the piano, and that's why I like to give God all the glory too for everything I do. Whatever, I'm not here to preach at anyone. I'm just saying that from my point of view, I like to give God all the glory for everything that I am and do as far as pertaining to the piano and even my life in general. Because I feel like I've been blessed in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So I'm talking you playing Moonlight Sonata. This would be my gift to you.
That's beautiful.
Well, when you see the tape later on, you can enjoy it. And this will be the last song I'm going to do for this show here. It's almost been a whole hour.
Has it really?
Yes.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Well, we're going to do the other set in a little bit.
Okay.
Here's the conclusion.
Beautiful. Wow.
I practice a lot of hours to do this. And those last two chords.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jean.
That's a beautiful song. Oh.
So now, 20 years from now, we'll look back at this tape. We'll be playing this for you, and it'll be my gift to you.
Oh,
and,
thank you.
I'm going to give you a copy of this show before you go home today.
Okay.
And, of course, you've got a DVD player. You'll be able to see it in advance.
Okay.
And you can tell your parents that it'll be on. I'll let you know the date that this is going to air.
Yeah.
This show airs... well, we tape it every Thursday from 1 till 4 for our viewing audience. And then it airs usually the following week or the second week after that. It's on channel 189 on Charter, on the MCAT channel. And it comes on at Thursday at 5 o'clock and Friday at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll eventually see this version of Asaph Cafe, and what's going to make it special is you're the first guest on this new set here. So
Oh,
your parents will get a kick out
oh,
of
it's
seeing
so
that.
pretty.
Yeah, well, it'll look even more crystal clear on the computer, which I'll show you as soon as we sign off here.
Okay.
The cameras will still be running.
Okay.
So that's this segment of Asaph Cafe.
Oh, well,
And if we do a second one, I'll set up the original set so you can enjoy that too.
okay.
And it'll be fun. So you can wave at that camera and say hi to your
yeah.
parents.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And my bestie down in Kansas. Hi, Suzanne.
Yes, they're going to see this because this show is seen all around the world on the computer, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her and tell her.
And it'll be posted on Facebook, it'll
That
be
she-
posted on YouTube, and then when it airs on regular television, it'll be seen there because it'll be shown on television as well as the computer simultaneously at the same
Oh,
time.
cool.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna be seen.
Oh.
Your whole family will be able to see
Oh.
this. So, Jeannie, thanks for being part of this.
Well, thank you for
segment.
having me. This is fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, we're going to do the second show in a
Yeah.
bit. So, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen, thank you once again for being part of Asaph Cafe. And my guest is Jeannie, my next door neighbor. And
Thank you.
also, she's the first guest on this new set. So, I'm really humbled
Yeah.
to
Well,
share that with
I'm
you.
just honored to have the new set with us.
Yeah.
And
And
thank
on-
you for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, it is. And so, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, until our next show, Maranatha.
Good night.